Yo, you got a mic. What's going on, guys? Back here with another banger video. And in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the absolute disrespect shown by Tim Riggs in Friday Night Lights. Now, before I get into the video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another one of my uploads. And before I get into it, this is a spoiler warning for the first 3 episodes of Friday Night Lights. So first we got to do a little background. I started watching Friday Night Lights about half a week ago, and this is because I just finished Lost, which was me and my mom's show. We'd watch an episode or 2 every night, and we just finished that recently, so now we're on to Friday Night Lights. And the first 2 episodes were okay, yeah, it's about football, teenagers, you got coaches, stuff like that. The acting was a little questionable, I'm not gonna lie. But then the third episode of the show might have just changed my entire perspective about the show. At first, I was like, all right, I would say it's a mid-show. The acting's kind of mid. The story so far, it's all right. After the third episode, it's about peak. I'm not gonna lie. This show got me hyped. Now I literally just want to watch every single freaking episode because of what events occurred in the third episode. And I already got a favorite character. Tim Riggs, come on now. And he kind of does resemble Sawyer from Lost. Not just physically with the long hair and kind of redneck personality, but also the just emotional coldness and just aura farming they enact. Sawyer and Tim Riggs low-key have a lot in common. I might make a whole vid about that, but I'm probably going to have to finish at least a season of Friday Night Lights before I do that. By the way, I'll also be making a Lost series review in the future. Okay, I just need some time. So anyway, I think I've yapped enough about the background information. Let's actually get into the events of episode 3. So we start the episode with the Panthers' second game of the season. And Matt Saracen, the new QB1, does actually surprisingly well for being a backup his entire career. But for some reason, the rest of the team just completely sells and they barely lose. So now the whole town basically thinks that it's the coach's fault because apparently he made bad play calls. But honestly, from my point of view, everyone was just selling the bag besides Matt. Literally the first play of the game, Matt threw a absolute dime to this guy wide open, and then he gets stripped 10 yards from the end zone. You're in a 1v1 scenario, and you're just running. The guy's behind you, and you get stripped. That is not the coach's fault. That is the ball carrier's fault. Can we lock in for a second? So anyway, the entire town basically thinks this coach is awful because they barely lost one game when the entire team was selling. And because of this, Buddy Garrity, Lila Garrity's dad, wants to go and recruit a new quarterback, even though the last game, your quarterback was doing just fine. Matt Saracen was the best player on your team, but now you want to go get a replacement for him. Vokay. And this replacement's name is Voodoo. I mean, that's just his nickname. Obviously, his real name, but they call him Voodoo, and that's a tough on nickname, I'm not gonna lie. But this dude looks mad menacing, and by the end of the episode, he does come to join the team to try to beat Matt Saracen out for his spot. And Voodoo is supposed to be this, super hyper-talented guy who's gonna make the NFL, so Matt's gonna have a lot in store for him. Speaking of Matt, it's pretty obvious. Him and Coach Taylor's daughter are going to get into a romance. I feel like that's just a given because Matt's only a sophomore. She's young. It's pretty obvious. They're definitely going to be in a relationship. And then he'll have to work around that and her being the coach's daughter. All right, I kind of keep getting off track, and I got to get onto the Tim Riggs stuff because that was kind of the subplot of the episode. Now I got to get into the main plot, Tim Riggs, which is why you clicked on this video. So let's go. So Lila keeps badgering Tim to go visit Jason in the hospital, but Tim doesn't want to go because he partially blames himself for Jason getting injured, even though he could do absolutely nothing in the play where Jason basically broke his spine. Jason threw an interception, and then he tackled the guy. And in that very same play, Tim was all the way across the field, and for some reason he blamed himself for not tackling the guy who got the interception before Jason could get to him. So I guess he feels bad and doesn't want to face Jason, but I feel like if you felt bad and you felt like it was your fault, you'd want to apologize even more. I don't know, but that's just the complexity of Tim Riggs. He's a complex character. I don't know. And then later in the episode, Jason yells at Lila because she is very positive, and she's like, Jason, you're going to get your legs back. When in reality, Jason might not even get feeling in his hands back, let alone his entire body. And also, let alone play football again. So Jason basically crashes out on her for her not really facing reality. Meanwhile, Tim and his girlfriend Tyra break up because Tim just does absolutely nothing to support their relationship. I mean, Tyra did basically cheat on him, but Tim was still a bad boyfriend, so they just end up breaking up. And then at Tim's next practice, he ends up just dipping out because he's just sulking in all of his sorrows at the moment. So as I mentioned before, Coach Taylor is being completely blamed for the loss of the football team, and Tim leaving practice was, actually, that wasn't the last straw. Smash dissing him on the news was the last straw, so then he made the entire team go out in the middle of the night and do wind sprints in the rain up a hill. And that was very inspirational, gave me goosebumps. It was super tough. They did their quote. It goes like, high minds, full hearts, can't lose. I think I got the last two parts right. I forget the first one, though. Anyway, after this inspirational scene, everyone's getting back on the bus, and Coach Taylor talks to Tim, and he basically says that it wasn't Tim's fault, and Tim kind of lets out his emotions, but Coach Taylor is basically like, I am kind of still pressed to you for leaving practice, so I'm making you walk home in the rain. So Tim's walking home, and at the very same time, conveniently, Lila's driving home from the hospital after just getting crashed out on by Jason. Now, she tries to pick him up, but obviously Tim's a Sigma, so he doesn't accept. So Lila parks her car, gets out, and then just starts kind of attacking Tim, and then just starts crying in his arms, and then they end up making out. And right when the scene started and Lila actually got out of the car, it was kind of like, wait, are they gonna do something? Like, I had a gut feeling something bad was gonna happen. And, like, after she just started crying, like, against him, I was like, oh, yeah, it's all over. And then when they actually kissed, I just lost all hope. Like, I really didn't think Tim would, like, engage in it. Because, obviously, Lila, I would blame Lila, because she did, like, kind of move in for it. She was, like, on Tim. And I low-key expected her to, like, do that, right? And then Tim to back up, because that's your best friend in the hospital, and that's your best friend's girl. But no. Tim accepted and equally made out with her. Like, Tim, what are you doing? Did you not just feel bad about your friend getting basically paralyzed for life? That's your best friend right there. And he basically can never play the sport he loves again, and his future is basically completely gone. You were basically ready to quit the football team and throw your life down the drain a couple hours ago. And now you're stealing his girl. Tim, where is this change of heart? Did you just realize, yeah, my best friend's a loser? Like, Tim basically just completely switched up in this 5-second period. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a bigger switch up, ever. This really shocked me to the core. I mean, obviously, I still like Tim. I think I like Tim even more as a character, not as a person, obviously, because, like, if my best friend did it to me, I mean, first of all, I would need to get a girlfriend first, which would be pretty slim, and then I would get paralyzed, and then my best friend would steal my girl. Like, yeah, I don't think I'm never forgiving them. If I'm Jason Street and I find out Tim did that, I'm never forgiving him. Like, literally ever. Like, that's kind of completely tragic. Actually, I wouldn't even forgive my girlfriend. You're like, that's like so neff. Like, you were my girlfriend. That's like debatably closer than my best friend. We were literally ready to get married, and now you're cheating on me with my best friend just because I got paralyzed. Wow, thanks a lot. So yeah, I know Jason probably is going to forgive him because there's no way this show runs for 5 seasons and he's just mad at them the whole time. But realistically, Jason should take a lot of forgiving and apologizing, and just, like, they need to do the most to make it up to him, because that is just neff. But yeah, this is a lot of juicy drama. Like, this is about peak. Like, I don't even know, bro. I'm just so hyped for the rest of the episodes. This show, pretty good so far. I mean, as I said before, first 2 episodes were, like, mid. Acting was kind of buns. Tyra's acting in this episode was absolutely horrendous when she broke up with Tim, like, her acting needs some work, but everyone else, very solid, especially Tim. Tim, a freaking dog. Lila's acting is very good. Jason's acting is very good. Coach Taylor's is all right. Other than that, this show, very peak. I would recommend. Please don't spoil it because I've only watched 3 episodes so far. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on the notification bell so you never miss another one of my fire uploads. I'll see you guys in the next one.